my question to you is about one I-130 form.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm listening.
Yes, so, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen and I'm applying for my parents.
Right.
And I have an underage brother. So I'm wondering whether I read a lot of information online, and it seems like he is not considered part of the application for my parents, even though he's underage. Is it correct?
That is correct. When you're a U.S. citizen when you're a U.S. citizen filing for your parents, there's a question on the form: name your children. And a lot of people think when you name the children, they're included. They're not under the law. You're just naming the children because you're answering their question. But the only people who are going to come are one I-130 for your mother, one I-130 for your father. They're going to come. And once they come to the United States, they can turn around and file for your brother, and that'll be maybe another 2 years or so.
Okay, so I'm wondering whether it makes any sense for me to file another form for my brother, as brother and sister.
No, it wouldn't pay because your parents will file for them much faster than you filing for him now.
So it will be much faster for my parents to apply for my brother when they get here.
Correct.
Okay, got it. I'm just wondering, do you know why the system is like that? Because he's underage. Where is he supposed to be?
You understand? Why is that? Because that's what Congress decided 50 years ago when they made the law.
Okay,
that's really it. That's the law they made.
Okay, because I'm just wondering what people usually do in that situation, what they do with their underage children.
What they do is one of two. Either one, parents come and they leave the underage children behind and the parents file and then the children come 2 years later. Or two, the parents come, file for the underage children, get a re-entry permit to allow them to live in another country and raise their child until that child's green card is available, and then they all come back together.
Okay,
all right.
I got it.
All right.
That was all the questions I had.
Okay, Yana, be well. Thank you.
I have two questions for you.
Go ahead.
Trying to cut it as short as I can.
Yes.
Okay, I filed for 3 of my kids in Jamaica under VAWA.
Right.
I was the VAWA, right, but they were in Jamaica, so it delayed until I finally get through with them. Now, one of my child getting problem in Jamaica with some charges. He's going through an investigation now.
What kind of, what this is one of your children?
Yes.
Okay, what is
Two of them are cops in Jamaica.
What is the investigation?
The investigation, he and his friend fight, and the fight ended up into the boy reporting that he was trying to rob him of $20,000 with gun.
All right. So this is the story. If they're found guilty, they're not going to get a green card. If they're found innocent, then they will. That's basically what it comes down to.
No, the thing is that he just get out of jail. It just happened. So he was in jail for 2 weeks, and they couldn't find any proof.
So what's going to happen is this. If there's pending charges, meaning that the case is not resolved,
pending, yeah.
Then you have to hold. You can file for your children, but you have to hold off on the visa appointment at the embassy until the resolution of the criminal case. If the criminal case they're found innocent, then we can bring them in. We'll have a fight with the embassy, but they'll eventually get through. If they're found guilty of a theft offense, and they're going to go to jail and a serious offense, serious charges against them, stealing $20,000 from somebody, then they're going to be an aggravated
felony. Yeah, but they didn't find the money, and they didn't find, and they put on the camera the fight.
One second. I'm not debating the facts of the case. I have no idea. I'm just telling you, this is in Jamaica, so it has nothing to do with me or you. What I'm telling you is, you're asking me about the immigration consequences, and the immigration consequences are, 1, while the charges are pending, he's not going to get through. 2, if he's found guilty, it's most likely going to be an aggravated felony. He's going to go to jail. He's never going to get a green card. Or 3, he's found innocent of all charges, and then he goes to the embassy. You would need a good lawyer. We'll have a fight with the embassy, but if he doesn't have a criminal record, eventually they have to give him a green card. Those are the 3 possibilities.
So I have to redo it over
for
him?
No. Keep the case going.
Okay.
All right?
I have a shoplifting case pending.
Yeah.
And my dad is about to start a petition for me.
Right.
I'm not from the U.S. He's about to start a petition, so I was wondering if that will prevent me from getting a green card.
What is the shoplifting, and where was it?
It was about a week ago.
All right, and what was the resolution? Are you still pending charges?
Yes, the charges are pending.
Well,
I'm going to go to court.
It all depends. It all depends what you're found guilty of or if you're found innocent. It's the same thing as the last caller. So until we know, it's not what you're charged with, it's what you're ultimately found guilty of or if you're found innocent. So before you take any plea deal, You come speak to me first.
So I'm an American citizen. We just got married last year. My husband, he's Canadian. He came to visit me using his passport last July. Well, in August, he kind of drank too much, and he got arrested for, like, an assault charge. Basically, it was kind of like a felony.
He got into a fight with somebody? He got into just like a drunk brawl? Or was it domestic violence?
Yeah. Well, it was more so domestic violence. Yeah, I didn't call. It was kind of like a neighbor did, and I was just trying to get it to go away. But so, yeah, it was like a felony. Yeah. But his lawyer dropped it down to disorderly conduct. Okay. The problem is that, well, after that, he had, since it dropped down, we got married since he had been here for over, the past 90 days. Right. So we got married, and now he's on probation. He's going to finish that in October. We're looking to file the I-31 and then the 485.
Yeah, you should do it.
But he's still on probation.
As soon as the probation's up, you could actually you can't prove good moral character till his probation is up. But the day probation is up, you should file it, and hopefully his probation officer doesn't call immigration on him.
No, yeah, they haven't.
Right.
I guess what I'm worried about is looking at the 485.
I don't know the penal code of Michigan off the top of my head, but generally in most states, a disorderly conduct is not a crime; it's a violation. Okay. As long as it's a violation, not a crime, he's okay. If a disorderly conduct in Michigan is a misdemeanor, then he could be found guilty of either a crime of moral turpitude or perhaps a crime of domestic violence, depending on what he was actually pled guilty to, and then he may need a waiver. What I would suggest, before you do anything more, is have a consultation with me. Let me see the disposition, and then I'll tell you where he stands.
Do you have to file, use the police report when you file, because it asks about arrest?
You submit the disposition from the court.
Okay, and not the police report.
Not the police report.
Okay, because it talks about him blowing like a .2 and then prior drug use. So.
Okay, so I think that they may ask for it, and that all may go to good moral character as well. So they may ask for it, and if they ask for it, then we'll have to deal with it and show, this was just a bad day he had. He's a very good guy. He's just, an angry drunk, and he doesn't drink anymore. I mean, basically, that's what it is. But I think you need to.
The judge said he was going to drop it down or dismiss it once he finishes probation. So does that help?
It depends if he actually pled guilty to something. No. If it was a situation where the judge said, you go do this probation or this class, I'm not going to take a guilty plea from you, and if you finish this class or finish this probation, I'm going to come back and I'm going to drop it to XYZ, then the answer is yes. So in other words, if it's post-rehabilitation relief, no. If it's a situation where the judge says, I'm not taking a plea, go do this diversionary thing that they want you to do, then come back to me, and then I'm going to have you plead guilty to something different, then yes. So it depends on the situation. So I think you need a consultation, then we'll figure it out.
I filed for my wife. I would say 14 months ago we went for the interview. Right. And we have been waiting. Last week I got a phone call from an agent from immigration saying that he needed to set up an appointment to come to my house. Okay. So my question is that possible?
Yes, they can come and do house visits and see if you're in a legitimate marriage. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Do I need to have a lawyer when he?
I would think you would want to have a lawyer there.
Yeah.
All right. It's worse. It's like having a lawyer at an interview. It's the same thing.
And what should I expect?
I think you should expect them to ask to come in and go see where you live and how you live and make sure that there is a man and woman. They're going to open up your closets. Does you and your wife have your clothes there and your shoes and your belongings that, and show, the two of you are physically living there every day.
Oh, okay.
All right. But yes, you should have a lawyer. So
all right. Thank you.
Hold on one second.
My friend wants to co-sign for affidavit of support.
Yes.
But she is retired. She said her income is like $5,000 between Social Security and.
And she can't do it.
She can?
No, she makes $5,000. She's below the poverty level. How could she give somebody else support?
$5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month or $5,000 a year?
A month. I'm sorry.
Oh, then that's $60,000. Of course she can.
And then, but this year she was in the hospital when she was admitted in the hospital when her taxes were supposed to be filed. She got out, but She still hasn't gotten the chance to.
All right, so she needs to do it, and then she could file her taxes and get her taxes up to date, and then she could do it. That's simple.
Okay.
All right.
And what if she's not able to do it?
Then you get somebody else. There's 350 million people in America who can possibly do it. Go find somebody else.
I came to America with B1, B2 visa.
Yes.
2014,
yes.
And I have an approved I-130 2015.
Okay.
And 2019, I put in for my I-765 with I-131 and I-485.
Okay.
And I have an approved combo card with me. Okay. Can I travel to Africa?
Who's sponsoring you? Your wife?
Yes.
And she's a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Yes, as long as your advance parole is valid and your adjustment's pending, absolutely go enjoy your trip. Don't stay out more than 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, just 2 weeks.
Yep, perfect. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
I came here on a K1 visa, and my son came on a K2.
Right.
So I got married in 2014. I got a 2-year conditional. It expired in 2016.
Right.
So I got an extension. And the extension that I got, it will be expiring in October, the 29th of October.
Right.
So they had asked for more evidence, which I sent. But the thing is, I'm not living with my husband, but we have a bona fide marriage. Is the time frame okay? Because it was up 2016, got an extension.
Well, let me say this, okay? Generally speaking, when you don't live with your husband, as long as you can prove it was a bona fide marriage when you got your green card and you lived with your husband in a bona fide marriage for a period of time, and your husband is cooperating and goes on the interview with you, and yes, it's way too long, but goes on the interview with you and you say, it is a real marriage, we are now separated. Yes, I've seen that work, but most of the time, immigration doesn't believe it's a real marriage and sends it off to an immigration judge for deportation.
Well, what happened, we were dating before I came here. Because I couldn't come before because he was in the Air Force. What
I would suggest is this. What my normal advice is, not knowing your situation, but generally my normal advice that I generally give is if you and your spouse are separated and you have a pending I-751, you should get a divorce. Because the last thing you want is to have a bona fide marriage, but now be separated, have immigration come check to see if you're living together, you're not, and now they don't believe it's a real marriage. If you get divorced, let me finish. If you get divorced, you go on the interview on your own. You don't have to rely on your husband anymore. It was a real marriage. I'm being interviewed by myself. Here's the proof, and you're done. Now, that's what my general advice is. However, in specific situations, I may tell somebody different. Like maybe I would tell you, okay, you're separated as long as your husband wants to help and you have lots of documents to prove you live together and he's willing to cooperate. Yes, let's push this interview through. Let's not put you to the back of the line and do a divorce. Let's not push you to the back of the line and get divorced. And we're going to go in and tell the truth. You're separated, but your husband still loves you. It just can't live together anymore. And here's the proof it was a real marriage. And if that's the case, then that's the case. But I would need to have a consultation with you about it.
Okay, because he's willing to come in with me.
All right,
but they said I can't make an InfoPass appointment.
That's why you need to come see me now, because it's pending all these years, and we got to discuss where you stand with your husband. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm calling for a friend. She came with her husband in 1998.
Right.
The husband applied for asylum.
Yes.
And she was on the asylum application as a spouse. However, last year, her husband passed on, so she doesn't know where she stands. What should she do? Should she file her own application for asylum?
Yes, she should. And she needs to independently prove she has an asylum claim. So hold on 1 second. Okay? And then she's gonna have to file based on changed circumstances, which is I was on my husband's pending case and he died. Okay? So hold on 1 second.
I applied for my husband I-30 petition on July 25th, 2018.
Yes.
And I got my approved letter on July 14, 2019, saying that they have transferred my case to NYC, and it's been a month. I haven't heard any response from them. So just want to know in general, like how long does it take, or should I call them?
Your case was transferred to New York City?
No, to NYC.
To the National Visa Center. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I thought you said NYC. And it's been how long now? You should hear from them in about 8 weeks from the time it's transferred there.
Yeah, it's just been a 1 month.
Okay, so wait another 4 weeks, and if you don't hear anything, call me.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
My girlfriend, her green card expired 13 years ago.
Yes.
And she wants to renew it.
Yes.
But she have a valid ID to get the fingerprints, and she was on food stamp. Is that a problem?
Nope. Renew. It's fine. All right. No problem.
She renew it?
Renew it. Even on food stamp. She already has the green card. She's fine.
Even though it's expired?
Even though it's expired. She has the 10-year card or the 2-year card?
10-year card that expired 15 years ago.
Oh, yes. Go file to renew it. Absolutely.
Okay. So when she for the ID now, she have no ID. Would that be a problem for her to get the fingerprint and stuff?
Does she have any identification?
She have an expired driver's license, expired ID card.
She can try to use the
expired Florida card.
And she can try to use her passport. Does she have a valid passport?
No, that passport was lost.
Okay, so she needs to get a new passport because they're not going to accept the expired ID card if it's years and years ago. So tell her to her country to get a new passport and then bring the expired, and she's not going to be able to renew the ID card until she has her green card back. So in this order, renew her passport, then file to renew the green card, bring the passport and the expired state identification, and when she gets her new green card, then she can update her state ID.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm calling in regards to a friend.
Yes.
His father filed for him in 1999, and he came to America when he was 10 years old. Sorry. In 1999, the father applied for citizenship, but this child was 16, didn't get through until he was 20. The child was 18 years and 4 months. However, the child got deported, sent back to Jamaica. He had a green card. However, he got caught going back to the U.S. illegally, and he filed for citizenship, which he got not really approved, but in the process. Now he got deported again, and now he has an appointment to do his biometric for his citizenship. What is his next step? But he's out the country.
Well, he's not a citizen because the father became a citizen after he turned 18.
Pardon?
The father became a citizen after he turned 18 years old. He's not a citizen.
Yeah, but that was in 1999 when the law was different.
No, the law wasn't different. His father still had to be a citizen under 18. He's not a citizen. There are arguments to say he should have been a citizen because they delayed the father's citizenship, but that argument can only be made if he's physically in the United States and he's already been deported. So the fact is, under the law, he's not a citizen, and I'm not saying anything bad about the guy, but in the eyes of the American government, he's a criminal. He's a criminal deportee who tried to re-enter, which is a second crime. He's never coming back to America, unfortunately.
Okay, so the fact that he got the appointment to do the biometric.
Yeah, he can do all the appointments he wants. He's not a U.S. citizen. They're going to deny him.
Okay, so it will be denied?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
My mom, she's a permanent resident, older, and she filed for myself and my twin brother.
Right.
I just wanted to know how long it takes for
when you're over
the green card to be available.
You're over 21?
I'm over. Yes, I'm over. I'm 30.
You're
unmarried.
When did your mom file for you?
I think about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, you're about
California.
7 more years.
Okay, 7 more years.
Yeah,
okay,
so
thank you.
Don't sell the house yet. Don't quit the job.
Sorry?
I said don't sell the house and don't quit the job yet.
So what else?
I said don't sell your house and don't quit your job. Yeah. Okay. One more question.
No. What if you want to purchase an apartment, like a house in the United States? Does he give you an insurance to get a visa or something?
No, owning a house doesn't give you any insurance to getting a visa.
I don't know if this is a family court mother or a green card mother. My daughter was living here with me 3 years ago in the U.S.
Yes.
She's a green card holder.
Uh-huh.
My wife filed for her. A month ago, I took her down to visit her mom. And recently, her mom telling me that she don't want to send her back. She wanted to spend some time there in Jamaica with her. And I'm disputing that. So I was wondering what legal action could I take regarding to a green card.
You have
get her back here?
You're not a citizen, are you?
No, I'm a green card holder.
All right. You have a big problem because the courts in the United States don't have jurisdiction. Your daughter's out of the country. The only court that would have jurisdiction would be the Jamaican court. So once you give your daughter to your ex-wife or the mother or whoever she is in Jamaica, and she refuses to give the daughter back to the United States, two things are going to happen. One, your daughter's going to lose her green card because she doesn't come back to the U.S. for years, and two, there's no court that has jurisdiction because the daughter's not in America. You have to go to a Jamaican court and get custody of her and bring her back.
Could I take what you suggest legal paperwork from U.S.
I'm not a Jamaican. I don't know how the courts work in Jamaica. You need to speak to a Jamaican lawyer and say, how do I get custody of this girl?
Got you.
All right?
All right, then. No problem. Thank you.
All right.
I'm fine. I filed for my citizen last September.
Yes.
But the date keep on change online. Go to 6 months, go to 2 months. Now it changed 9th of August says transfer to another USCIS office. What does that mean?
Just means they're just shifting their work around. You file for your sister, she's going to wait 15 years. And whether they approve the case 5 years from today or they approve the case tomorrow, your sister's going to get their green card on the same
No,
exact day.
no, I don't. I said I filed for my citizen last September.
Oh, you filed for your citizenship. I thought you said your sister.
Yes.
Okay.
No, my
then
citizenship
they're still transferring to move paperwork around, and they're doing citizenship on last in, first out. So they're just people who have pending citizenships from a year ago are waiting longer than people who have pending cases this year. It just means they're literally shifting paperwork around to one office that's busy to an office that's less busy. So you can't read anything into it. Doesn't mean anything one way or the other.
Oh, because next month is 1 year.
Yeah, but after
so
1 year,
how long you think I have to wait more?
I don't know. I don't know. You can get an interview tomorrow. You can get an interview in a year from now. I wouldn't be surprised if either answer was correct. The only thing you can do after 1 year pending citizenship is to file a mandamus and force them to give you an interview, which we can do to help you if you want. So hold on if you want that. Okay. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.